All right, hello and welcome to Musser Sports Live, a weekly show where we break down the hobby and sports world. Today is Labor Day 2021, and we're excited to be laboring on our first episode ever, with hopefully many more to come. My name is Marcus, and I'm here with Charlie today. Today on our first episode, we are going to just, introduce ourselves, the faces behind Musser Sports. We're going to review the week in the hobby, the week in sports, and break a box of cards, which is going to be really fun. We do have a weekly giveaway going on right now on our Instagram page, so shout out to all the Instagram Live people there. And you can go to our Instagram feed and enter on the post that has the giveaway info, and we might even, if there's enough entries, we might even draw at the end of the show. If not, we will do it sometime later this week. So I am going to kick it over to Charlie, and he is going to take us away on what we're doing.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to Musser Sports Live. I'm Charlie, president and owner of Musser Sports. We've been a company now for a few months, just getting our feet wet. Been in the hobby for a few years myself, but now that we have become an official company, being a content creator, we're selling on eBay. We have our website. We're starting to get into card shows a little bit. And I just wanted to show off some of our products that we have. We have our repacks. These are our new product. We do our sealed mags. We sell things in Beckett Shield, top loader, and everything is sealed clean. Like, I make sure to keep all the dust, fingerprints. What you're getting is a top of the line product. That's sort of our mission statement. It's quality and customer service. That's our number one thing. So that's sort of where we're going as a company, is to all of the things, the pet peeves and the things that bother you on eBay, the things you run into, like when you buy a card on eBay, it's a mystery. It shows up with dents, dings. It's not what you expected. You get a repack that really is a mystery repack that has nothing good in it except 1978 Donruss. And so that was sort of my thought process of starting the company, was to try to fill some of the gaps. And so far, that has happening. I mean, we noticed as we started to go to card shows and sell on eBay and get our website, just following on Instagram, you get to see where the hobby is right now. And it's so exciting just seeing the technology coming into it, seeing the kids out there, seeing the graded side of the hobby, raw cards. It's just an exciting time with podcasts, just getting going so far from where I was as a kid. Like, I remember in the early 90s buying the junk wax, and that was exciting because I wanted Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Jeter, and I would just put all of my cards out on the floor and put them at position like a baseball diamond, reading the back of cards, and just, that was my collection. And since the last few years, I want to say the Jordan doc, when everybody was at home, I think that was kind of like got me to rip my old collection.
It kicked the collector's world up again.
Yeah, sure. It did. And like, I got into I said, I have Jordans, I have Kobe's,
Kobe's death too.
Yeah, yeah. And just to see what was on eBay and what's in the world out there, I was like blown away by the prices on stuff and just how many people were buying and selling cards on eBay. I was like, hey, I got some cards in my collection. Why don't I just start listing a couple? And I didn't have Musser Sports or any of that. That was just, hey, put my card on, see what it sells. And before you know it, I sold over 100 cards within the first month. And like, I just had no idea how big of a world of hobby has come from your local card shop into the whole country seems to be getting in on cards. Like, even just everyday people are asking me about cards. they're into cards, or oh yeah, I had so and so growing up. So it's just really exciting time, and I think we're at the part of the hobby where you actually have a chance to share. Anyone can share with Instagram, and it's just a great way to have your everyday collector also share with some of the big boys of the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's no buffer anymore. It's like you can interact with, guys like Gary Vee. I mean, it's rare, but like you can interact from a high or a low, hobby standpoint, which is great.
Gary Vee was one that he always gets you fired up. Like you go watch his YouTube video or something, and he'll make you want to go out to a yard sale or
right.
Put a couple cards on eBay, send something to get graded. Like I never thought like that was something that I could do. As it was always like, oh, other people do that.
Yeah, he fired a lot of people up again with multiple things, but definitely in the card hobby.
Yeah, so sure. It's awesome.
All right, so where is Musser Sports going?
Well, right now we are going. We have a card show coming up September 17th through the 19th in Reading, Pennsylvania, at the Berkshire Mall. That's a way to get our products out into the world and to show some of these sealed mags that we have. Like this card is my favorite right now, the Bo Bichette, his CN Tower. Beautiful. Topps Chrome.
Beautiful.
But I mean, what I do is I make sure there's no dust, there's no fingerprints. I'll clean the card, slab it with our, branded trademark logo. It's a way to guarantee that you're getting a card that's been sealed. And it's not graded, obviously, but with our name as we grow in the hobby, I think it will mean something. Like if anything, it's a pipeline to get it graded. You don't have to waste your time buying from 10 different eBay people trying to get a card graded. You want to get a card graded? Come to Musser Sports, buy this card, chances are it's going to be a 9 or a 10 every time. And that's kind of what I want to get out of this show, is to build our brand, but also bring other people in and to show what we have to offer, but also give other people a voice that they can be a part of it. So I think that's really cool.
Absolutely. All right, that was great. So just a little bit about me, big Yankee fan. Shout out to Jeter. But Charlie, myself, and Jeff, who's off camera here, we all love sports, and it's something that plays in the hobby world. So we're not big on Pokemon and stuff like that. Maybe later or whatever. But the sports, what we like about sports comes through in the hobby world for sure. And so that kind of drew me in as well as we went along here in the last couple of years. I remember collecting stuff as a kid and setting it on the shelf for literally 20 years. And now we are where we are.
Well, I think that's the passion with sports is like what gets everyone started. But then that connection to the sport is cards. Like, how can I have a connection to that player other than buying their jersey and following them on social media? Getting that card is the natural next step.
Right.
So if you're a fan, you're going to have that Acuna auto rookie. That's what you want to have. Right. So now that the sports world is so close, like you're close to the players, you're close to everything, you know everything there is about the team, the natural thing is to have that player's card. Right.
That's cool. So now we're going to get into just kind of the normal stuff that we want to do on each weekly live show, which is just going to be 4 or 5 things that we do each week just to bring you all in and just to have some fun with the show. But the first one is a hobby pulse. So I definitely want to hear from Charlie and what he has to say about the hobby world of that week. So take it away.
All right. Thanks, Marcus. This week, we've had a few larger things I'd like to... The NFL season's coming up.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. There's no more Cam Newton. And I think Mac Jones, being the starting quarterback in New England, has been a big shift in the hobby. Just in the past week, everyone's been talking Trevor Lawrence, and then maybe Justin Fields. Now, Mac Jones has just come out as...
He's front and center.
Front and center. This is Belichick. He's on the hot seat. Like, was it all Tom Brady, or does he know how to coach? So if he's throwing Mac Jones out there into the fire, he's got a lot to prove. I think...
Are people snagging up his cards? Like, or
Oh yeah,
what do you see?
prices just in that first day, you'd see a 30. I think it was up over 30% that first day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say Mac Jones. He's my number one thing, but also with everything that's gone down with the lockdowns and vaccinations, this and that. Carson Wentz, we're not sure what's going to happen there. Any player, for that matter, Lamar Jackson, anyone that has chosen not to get vaccinated, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Week to week. I mean, as for a fantasy perspective,
Right.
that is when going to draft. It's like, I don't know when I'm going to start my lineup. Friday, he's banned because he's on the COVID list.
Right.
Because his brother came down with COVID.
Exactly.
It's
Like,
unlike anything I've ever.
Yeah, so like Wentz, I think, was just interacting with someone that had it, from what I understand. So he's back now, but that's going to happen all year long with these people. So
I know.
Interesting to see.
Yeah, and I would say baseball playoffs is starting to take shape. There's been it's been such a different with the rule changes with the double headers and the 7-inning games. The pitchers, it's totally different than what I've seen in other seasons. Like, you go out, you have like a starting pitcher that pitches 2 innings,
Right.
and then you bring in a guy that pitches 3 innings, and then you bring in another guy and then a closer. It's you never had like a guy that comes out, pitches 6 innings, you bring in your middle relief pitcher, and then set up guy closer. It's not that way anymore.
Right.
So as far as baseball goes, it's all about the hitters right now. You've really taken the wind out of the sails, I'd say. For pitchers, it's already hard enough in the hobby to have any value in a Clayton Kershaw or any top pitcher, and now it's with the way the game is changing. It's all about the hitters: Acuna, Tatis, Bichette, Vlad.
Yeah.
The big names. That's it.
And we'll see what happens in October when it gets cold again, and are the hitters actually going to have the run of it?
That's when the pitchers come front and center.
Right.
They pitch on 3 days rests,
Exactly.
and
all rules kind of go out the window.
yes,
It's really cool. So what? All right. So when this airs on our YouTube channel, the start of the football season will be either that day or the next day or whatever. So we obviously been drafting our fantasy lineups and all this fun stuff. I have to say, when you look at the Super Bowl picks and all that, like on paper, how do you go against the Chiefs and the Bucks again?
I know.
Like, I've rooted again. I've bet against Tom Brady my whole life and got burned every time because you always think that it's going to be like, okay, this time he's not going to come through. So maybe if I say this year he's actually going to do it, he won't. I don't know.
Oh, maybe I took the other philosophy. I was like, I'm always going to bet with Tom Brady
Right.
because he always wins.
Yeah. So I got Chiefs and Bucks again, but again, injuries are just one of those things that who knows.
Yeah.
But the Bucks are returning everybody, all starters, all 22 starters, I believe, are coming back. And so in the NFC especially, like the NFC East is so weak. I'm an Eagles fan, just chill out. But they're going to suck, and the NFC East is going to be bad again. And I don't know who's going to come out of there other than the Bucks. But,
No, I agree with you on the Bucks pick. It's hard to go against the Chiefs, but the AFC is typically there's always a dogfight between the AFC.
Bills, Steelers.
The Bills are coming up
Browns.
with Josh Allen. The way injuries are, there's just so many variables this year, especially the extra game, that it's hard to pick against the Chiefs. But I liked what the Titans are doing.
Yeah.
I think adding Julio Jones, you got Derrick Henry, Tannehill, AJ Brown. Defense is getting a little better. I'm the Steelers fan. I mean, Ben, this is probably his last season.
Yeah.
I like their offense. I think Najee Harris has a lot to offer.
Are you drafting him tomorrow night?
I am. I am.
We love Najee Harris around here. I think he's going to be really good, and I'd be pumped to have him on my fantasy team. But
but if I had to make a pick on the AFC,
yeah,
I think I'm going to go Titans.
Yeah. They are really good.
They were that close last year.
Mm-hmm. I know you felt like they've been that close for a couple seasons. But man, you always, Baltimore, who knows?
The Chiefs pulled one out of a hat to win that game.
I know. The Browns are going to be like really good, but it's always the Browns. It's like, what are we actually doing here with the Browns?
Thing with the Chiefs that I think that last year, how many times did they come back from 3 touchdowns down?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work very long.
Right.
You can only do that a couple times before you throw that pick when you're down 14. Like,
we always say that teams figure other teams out. It's like, are people finally going to figure out, Mahomes a little bit more? As he gets older, is he not going to be, running as much? And he actually doesn't run as much as you think. He's more of he's a pocket guy who's creative.
Yes.
Is realistically what
he's a way to he gets rid of the ball before he passes the line of scrimmage.
Right. So you'd almost think that somewhere along the line, some people are going to start figuring him out, but who knows?
It's more like contain.
Yeah. Can we contain?
Get him to do what he doesn't want to do, like push him that way he doesn't like to be, or double Tyreek Hill, take away his weapons, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Staying healthy.
Edwards-Helaire and all these guys. Yeah, health is always a big part in the NFL, so we'll see there. All right, so that's football.
We can talk about football for days.
I know. It's going to be so much fun. This is always the most exciting time of the year. You got baseball heating up. Football's right around the corner.
Joe Burrow.
Yes.
He's the one that I really think.
Yeah, the question is the most interesting player in the card world, the NFL, going into the season. So Burrow, I know, is on your list as well as mine. It's just a guy who, can he bounce back? Mm-hmm. Especially tying it into the hobby world, like people who've held his cards for so long, saw that really high rise in value, and then it kind of,
his Prism base card, I remember last year, it was pushing $80, $90 for the base card, some even higher. Herbert was the king at like 140, 150 base card with raw. The Burrow right now, we sold one a week ago for $50.
So that's maybe half the value.
Yeah, half the value.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of growth for Burrow. He's got some new weapons. Jamar Chase, who he played with at LSU. T. Higgins is another. He's got his second season.
Can't forget about Boyd.
Yeah.
Mixon, if he's healthy.
And that Mixon was doing well when Burrow was playing. Like, that team was starting to gel, and they were coming together. So
it always comes down to that O-line,
that's
passing on Sewell, whatever his name is, and going with Jamar Chase there in the draft. Is that going to haunt Cincy? It looks like Sewell had a bad preseason anyways, so maybe Cincy did know what they're doing and passing on him, but that O-line is going to be, I think, a question. So Burrow's knees.
I know.
Burrow's knees.
I think we were just talking about it in our warm-up talks. Tom Brady blew his knee out. It's ACL. He came back fine after that, obviously.
Right.
So it doesn't scare me with the ACL.
It might scare me a little bit more if he's a running back, someone like Barkley or something like that. But But
do not draft Barkley.
Jeff, you drafted Barkley, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Last year.
He got Kamara.
Oh yeah, last year.
Yeah, Jeff is on a Kamara train for the last 3 years, and he likes himself some Kamara. I can't go without mentioning Jeter's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. This guy, when I was 8 years old, getting into baseball, he was one of the first cards I pulled in a pack. And it reminded me of my older brother. He was tall and lanky. My brother's even taller than I am. And I was a Jeter fan ever since. And 8, 9, 10, 11, those were like the best baseball years I've ever had in my life. And here we are 20 years later. So I'm a spoiled fan because I'm a Yankee fan. I'll give you that. But they've only had one World Series since then. But when I was 8, 9, 10, and then they lost, coming up again on September 11th, the 20th anniversary of that, that Diamondback series was such a massive part of my childhood. And then when they blew it, they were up 3-0 against Boston and all that. But these are the memories that I have as a kid, and Jeter was such a part of it. Little side note, my wife and I, she's from New York, so we got engaged in Times Square, and then later that night we went to his final game in the Bronx. And so Jeter just means so much to me as a player, and I am going to miss the ceremony because we have something with our kids' school that day, and I was really upset about that, but that's for another day.
Well, kids, Jeter.
Jeter, hey, we can take the kids along. So that'll be pretty cool to see. Obviously, they postponed that, from last year, so Jeter and Larry Walker is going to go in as well. Were you ever at the Hall of Fame in
I
Cooperstown?
have not.
We gotta go. I was up there twice, and that is
Been to
a
Yankee
fun,
Stadium,
yeah.
not Cooperstown. But
yeah. Cooperstown's a fun place to be. I also have a note about college football. Did you watch any college football over the weekend?
I saw some of the hype from the Virginia Tech game.
Yeah.
That was
Fans were out.
Set some records on noise. They had no masks. I didn't see any masks in the stand. So that's a good sign.
It's funny. It's like there was like 100,000 strong in Michigan and all these places, and maybe some of their students had to be vaccinated and all that. But it's like people are out, people are watching football. Hopefully that continues, and hopefully people don't try to shut that down. But I was watching a little bit of Alabama, and it's like Alabama is so stinking good. They had five first-round picks last year, I believe.
Something like that.
And,
well, that's every year.
Yeah, and they just blew out Miami, and I mean it wasn't even close. I mean it was terrible.
And the recruits at the U are physically, they're specimens too.
Yeah.
Like Miami should be competitive, but they're not.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Florida State, Florida, those are like perennial powerhouses, and Alabama is it's an NFL squad.
It's crazy. So my Sooners are going over the SEC in 4 years or 5 years or whatever. So that's going to be.
They should take Vanderbilt's spot.
They should. Vanderbilt gets run over. They're a baseball school.
Yes.
So that is sports news of the week. So a lot going on, and this is such a good episode to start off on because there's so much going on. This is my favorite time of the year, weather-wise, sports-wise. This is just peak, so it feels fitting that we're starting today on this.
Definitely.
So a couple more things here. So let's do sales of the week on the eBay store.
All right. This week, I thought let's talk Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston kind of coming out of hiding, coming over.
You don't like Taysom Hill?
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, he's too little. Winston has an arm.
Winston's great.
He won a championship in college. I mean, he's shown some good play here in the preseason, but his cards have been very in demand. I think we sold 4 or 5 Prism rookies. I remember a few months back they were low 20s.
Mm-hmm.
We're selling. I think the last one sold for 34.
Is this year 5 for Winston?
He was 2015.
So this might be year
16.
6.
Yeah.
So he's got a shot, man. And
He came out. Joey
Harrington.
Mariota. Marcus
yeah.
Mariota, same year as him.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what he does. I do love Sean Payton and what they do down there. So if Michael Thomas can come back at all.
Yeah, and you got Kamara.
Yeah. Right, Jeff?
Yeah. No, I like Jameis Winston. Some of the other sales we had, let's see off the top. CD Lamb. CD Lamb cards. His lows, I remember looking at the Prism base rookie. In even July, his base rookie was selling for in the single digits, like $6.
Wow.
And now I think we sold one just the other day. It was close to 20. Just any kind of parallel, orange laser prism, stuff like that, you're getting back over the $30 mark.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, you could have literally made 100% on your money just in the last month on CD Lamb. I think one of the downers was Juan Soto. We sold 2 graded Juan Sotos this week. Both got slaughtered on. Down from even the Topps Chrome Update Rookie PSA 9, which it's a $50, $60 card. It's sold for $32.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah, there's Juan Soto's numbers.
Is it just because of how bad Washington is?
Yeah, well, he had that slow start. He had a hurt shoulder. His season numbers aren't the power numbers. I mean, he has 24 home runs.
Yeah.
And 76 runs batted in. I mean, Trey Turner's gone.
You just don't hear a lot about stars on bad teams, and Soto seems to be the odd man out when you're talking about Tatis and all these guys. And Soto might even be better than those guys. That's the crazy thing about it. And
well, his on-base percentage is like .455.
Yeah, it's insane.
He had 4 walks the other day.
I would know because I'm playing Charlie in fantasy baseball right now. So
yes.
I would know that.
Yeah.
It's closer than Charlie thinks, but He's killing me. He's killing me right now, but we got a week to go. So
no, the pitching's been a little bit rough.
You got one pickup left.
Nope, not anymore. I picked him up on the way here.
All right, here we go. We got a week to go on that. We'll keep you updated. Charlie and I are in a 2-week playoff spot. Winner goes to the finals. Jeff's on the other side of the bracket, so the three of us here at Musser Sports are dominating.
You're right. You're right.
That's right. For sure. So this is the fun part where we get to bring a box. So we figured with the start of NFL, we would start breaking a box of Absolute.
We're going after the Kabooms. It's not a high-end product,
the other camera.
But
you got it.
Everyone's always after the Kabooms.
No, just normal.
So, figure why not? See if we can.
Why not? Let's break something good.
Now, if you're wondering, what do we put in our repacks? Our repacks consist of what we rip out of our blasters, like something like this. Almost every one of these cards is going to go in a repack. So, if you want to know what we have in them, it's all Prism, Optic, Absolute.
They're good base cards that would sell for a couple bucks a pop, but are just too laborsome to put on eBay.
Basically. And then we are putting good hits. Like, you're not going to get nothing. You're always going to get more value than what you pay.
So what year of Absolute is this that we're breaking?
This is 2020 Absolute Football. So, not 2021.
Right.
So, we're going after the Herberts, Burrows, things like that.
Yep. Cool.
What we got here? Nick Chubb, A.J. Brown, Dak Prescott.
Looking for a rebound year for him.
Golden Tate.
Where did he end up?
That's a good question. Xavier McKinney.
Where did Golden Tate end up, Jeff?
Jeremy Chin. Cam Akers. It's a horrible story.
Man, we had such high hopes for him this year.
I know. That Achilles.
It's a bummer.
So he's had 2 seasons now. Hardly any games played.
I was high on him in fantasy, and the card world was ready for him. And
yes, he was breaking out last year. It was awesome. But Drew Lock, Dalvin Cook. That's another guy that doesn't get any respect in the hobby at all. His cards.
Really?
Yeah, you would think, but they don't. Drew Brees. DJ Dallas. Rookie.
Go.
He's on a little bit further back on the depth chart in Seattle, but keep an eye on DJ Dallas. Patrick Queen, Jake Fromm.
State Farm guy?
Another, defensive lineman. I noticed when I'm ripping boxes, like a lot of these Panini products, the quality on them is not, like these edges. Like, this is actually a nice cut, but I've opened a lot of, like, Prism, and, like, you get particles, pieces all coming off of them. The quality on them is just really not there.
Yeah.
Not just that. It's the centering. Centering's horrible. There we go. Here's a hit. Patrick Mahomes, red zone.
Hey.
Justin Jefferson, rookie. There you go. Darryl Taylor. Neville Gallimore. There's a lot of rookies.
A lot of rookies coming to a repack near you.
But that's the other thing. If it's not that, you get a print line, or you get there's always something preventing you from having a gem card. I don't know if it's by design or what. DJ Moore, Todd Gurley. Is he gonna have a job again?
Yeah. So Baltimore's looking pretty thin. So imagine a Gurley or a Le'Veon Bell comes in and visits Baltimore and John Harbaugh.
Okuda, Ohio State boy.
There you go. Jay Henderson.
We still have 4 more packs.
There you go.
I see some, like a lot of the Kabooms are on Instagram.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a Kaboom. Shout out to Caster Flash Troy. He always has a good Instagram feed as far as putting cool effects on his cards. He also set fire to a Dak Prescott Hyper Prism.
That seems to be fitting with any Cowboys player.
Andre Johnson, flashback. Darrington Evans, another Titan. Back up to Derrick Henry. Antonio Gibson and Juwan Jennings out of San Francisco. Don't really hear much out of him, but I always save my rookies. Do you? Save rookies?
Yeah.
Even if they haven't done anything or they don't have any hype?
Yeah,
you still gotta save a rookie.
You have to.
At least to see if they turn into anything.
Yeah, you have to.
Drew Brees again.
So he's going to be on, is it Fox? Or is he,
Patrick Mahomes
where did Breeze end up in the booth? Or is he on,
yes,
Monday
he was
night?
trying to get, I did see that.
Or is he on Monday Night Football? I forget.
Look at that, 3 Mahomes hits.
There we go.
Van Jefferson, I like him for fantasy sleeper, especially with Matt Stafford and Gladney, Edwards, and KJ Osborne.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Lions fans. Obviously for just being a Lions fan, but
yes, they always.
But man, you got 20 years of losing, if not more. I don't know, but now you're stuck with Jared Goff. You see your guy Stafford leave, and Stafford. I mean, hey, hopefully he succeeds. I like the guy.
Green foil, Odell Beckham. Oh, look at that, Herbert.
There we go.
So, we'll put that in a repack. I mean,
Yeah.
Everybody likes Herbert.
Everybody likes a little Herbert.
Nate Stanley. And then I did not do that on purpose, but the kaboom is in the last pack. There's definitely you can feel the thicker packs. You got the patch cards. If you ever can buy a single pack and you have a chance to touch it, try to feel the pack. You can feel the hits inside of it. It's going to be thicker than the other packs. I promise you. You'll be able to find it. You'll be able to get the patch card and pull it right out. There you go, Jeff. Alvin Kamara.
There it is.
Mostert.
Here we go.
Jake from
Oh.
There you go.
Repack.
Repack.
That's funny.
T. Higgins.
All that for Jake Fromm.
I know. And no kaboom. No kaboom.
No kaboom.
So there is not a kaboom guaranteed. It's just the hunt.
Yep.
Last but not least, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh. What could have been.
I know.
Mr. Dobbins, what could have been.
So there you go. Out of a blaster, you got a Herbert, you got a couple Mahomes cards, and a Jake Fromm patch.
You got that stud Jake Fromm patch. Yeah.
Not
awesome.
bad.
All right, guys. Well, that's about all we have for this week. So continue to post, find the posts in our feed, and go back and
yes, share. Follow, share to 3 other people. You'll be in the drawing.
And what are we giving away? Bum bum bum.
Prism draft picks.
Very fitting.
2021.
Very fitting for the start of football season.
It's not the Prism base, I know, but you know what? It has the Trevor Lawrence. It has the Mac Jones. You can get autos. You can get. I mean, it's free. It's a giveaway.
I have 4 Prism boxes at home. And maybe one of these weeks, next week, we'll either give one away or break a box or something like that. We'll have some fun with that.
Awesome.
So that was episode 1. This is going to be fun, and every week just get to sit around, talk sports, and talk cards, and all that good stuff. It'll be less formal as we go along, and just more just sitting around talking sports.
Yeah, we're gonna like to do some interviews. People out in the sports world. I'd love to have an interview with you. We'll do a Zoom call. Just talk the hobby. It's real relaxed. And then we'll put that into our episode, just a way to get a pulse, get a sense of the sports world out there, from the regular collector and all the way from the big guys down to everybody else.
We'll have Gary V on next week.
Yes,
no
Gary V.
No big deal. We'll have Gary V on next week. Awesome, guys. This has been fun. All right, so follow along as we go along. We're trying to do this, trying to film one every Monday night. Hopefully it'll be live, so you get a little sneak peek on Instagram Live. But this will be up on our YouTube channel, all nice, chopped up and edited, hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday of the week. So next week, we'll have Monday Night Football game, and we'll definitely be talking about that and talking more cards.
Yeah, we'll have a week of football in. So, yeah, it's awesome.
You got it. All right, from Charlie, me, and Jeff, have a good night.
Good night.